Okay, cool. So everybody, welcome to DCPS at Home Day. What is this? DCPS at Home Day number 4. If you're watching this tomorrow on Thursday, then it would be your DCPS at Home Day number, DCPS at Home Day number 5. Okay, so I'll go ahead and tell you now what your assignment for the day is. Is real simple. It's 50% the notes. So you're going to just simply write down exactly what I write down. That's 50% of your assignment. And the other 50% is a problem set. Okay. If you are watching this on video, I need you to pause it now and go get your math binder and paper. If you do not have paper, you might as well just stop the video because 50% of it is going to be writing these notes down. So without further ado, we're going to hop right in here to chapter 5, new chapter 5, and you can begin writing. Chapter 5 is sequences. All right, sequences. These are patterns. These are patterns. Okay, we're going to make a little rule here. If I write it in red, do not write it. If I write in red, do not write it, because that means I'm going to erase it. Any other color, I need you to make sure you write that down. So if I write in red, it's just something I'm putting up here. If I write in any other color, then I need you to go ahead and write that down for me. Okay, here we go. If you are watching live, I'm going to write 2 numbers on the screen. And in the chat box, I'd like you to very quickly, because I don't want to wait very long, very quickly, I want you to tell me which number comes next in this sequence. Again, do not have to write this down because I'm writing in red. What number would come first? And if you are watching, or next, if you are watching this on a video, answer, say it out loud in your head or whatever. What would come next? I need y'all to quickly answer this for me again. Don't write it down. Okay. I would assume that you would say 6. And if I'm looking at my chat box, that's what most people say. But what if I told you that that is not the next number? Would you say that I'm crazy? Could it be another number? Could it be a different number? What if I told you the number I was thinking about was this, not 6? Can you think, and if you're watching live, can you answer in the chat box? Can you tell me what the sequence is now? And if you're watching on video, then can you think about it in your head? If it went 2, 4, 8, then what's the sequence? Okay, so I've seen some really different good answers in the chat box, and the answer that I'm thinking about is it would be times 2. So those are our 2 different types of sequences, and that's where we're going to get started. Here we go. Let's first talk about the 2 types of sequences that we're going to deal with. The first one that we deal with, and we've actually been dealing with this all year, is called arithmetic. This is an arithmetic or arithmetic. It's an arithmetic sequence. And the other one, when I tricked you and changed it to 8, is called geometric. These are 2 types of sequences that we will be dealing with for the next probably couple weeks to a month. Okay. An arithmetic sequence. If the sequence gets larger, so if the numbers are going up, okay, for instance, we can say 2, 5, 8, 11, then what we would do is we would be adding addition. Okay. And if we had something like this and we graphed it, it would look like this, things that we've been dealing with all year. All right. If the sequence goes down, for instance, we can say 20, 15, 10, 5, then we would subtract. Okay, subtracting the same number over and over again. And if we graph these, it would look like this. So these are both linear sequences. Okay. Now, today your assignment is going to be to figure out which one of these 2 it is. So one thing I want you to notice right here that the gap between like 5 Oh, that actually wrote on that. Oh, no, it disappears. Cool. The gap between 5 and 8 is the same. Okay. The spacing is the same. If we graph these on a number line, the distance between each of these numbers would be the same. That's one of the big ways you can recognize it. Now, geometric, if it's going up, if it's going up on geometric. So for instance, we can go 3, 6, 12, 24. Then notice that the gap, if I put these on a number line, there's a lot more space between 6 and 12 than there is 3 and 6. There's way more space between 12 and 24. What this is now is multiplying by a number greater than 1. So multiplying by 2 or 3 or 4. Oh, I've got an announcement.
Stephanie, please call the front office.
It's just like we're in school. Now, if we have sequences like this, the numbers are going up, but notice that they're going up a lot quicker. So if we graph this, it would look like this. Okay, so that's the difference. We haven't graphed things like that before. All right, last little part. Here we go. Going down. Okay, so for instance, I could go, let's see, let me say, how about we go 500, 100, 20, and 4. Okay, once again, the thing is the number, whoops, between right here and here, I mean, there's 400 numbers in there. There's only 16 numbers in there. So that's how you're going to be able to tell if the gap gets bigger. Now, look, a lot of you may be saying division, and that's not wrong, but we are not going to divide. We're not, and we'll see more about that a little bit later. So what we're going to do is this. We're still going to multiply, but we multiply by a number that is less than 1. So if you go to your cell phone, if you go to your calculator, if you did 500 times 0.25, it'd give you this. All right. If you did 100 times 0.25, it'd give you 20. And the way these look are like this. They go down really steep and then they start to level off. That should be a curve. I just got a little messy there. Okay. So if it's arithmetic, it's going to be very constant. If it's geometric, the gaps are going to get bigger and bigger. Okay. So that's what we're looking at here. So let's talk about what we're going to do today in class. We're going to keep it very brief. We're going to keep it very small, but I am going to teach you one very important thing that we will use the rest of the year. Here we go. Here's what your assignment is going to look like. Here we go. Example. I want you to tell me arithmetic, and I'll abbreviate this. Geometric, or maybe I'm going to trick you. Maybe it's neither. All right. Some of these you're just going to know off the top of your head, okay? Some of these you're just going to know off the top of your head, and you won't have to do much to them. So let me give you a couple quick, 2 really easy examples, okay? Here we go. We're going to go 5, 9, 13, and the next one will be 17. So the question is, how can we go from here to here, here to here, here to here? Okay. Can you guys in the chat box tell me what's the sequence? What's the pattern? How are we going from 5 to 9 and then 9 to 13 and then 13 to 17. What do we have going on here? And notice that the gap is it's the same. You know, if I put these on a number line, the space would be the same. Very good. So here's what we're going to write down. Here's what we're going to write down, everybody. We can abbreviate. We're going to write A, R, I, T, H. If you just want to put A, that's fine. And then we're going to put one more thing. We're going to put plus 4. And that plus 4 has a name. We'll talk about that name tomorrow. Plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. That's an arithmetic sequence. All right, let's do this one. Here we go. Let's go B. Let's go 2, 10, 50, and let's go 250, dot, dot, dot. So how is this happening? Now, because once again, if I put this on a number line, there's only 8 spaces in between here. There's 40 spaces in here. There's 200 spaces in here. So it's getting big really quick. Can you think about what we're doing to go from one to the other on this? What's our pattern? Well, it's definitely not arithmetic, because to be a pattern, it's got to be the same thing over and over. It is geometric. And for those of you in the chat box that put times 5, you are correct. Times 5, times 5, times 5. So we're going to put geometric, just put geo, and then also put what we're doing. So that's your answer, 2-part answer. And that is what you're going to write on your assignment. Okay. All right. Let me give you one more, and then we're going to get to the more difficult ones, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. Here we go. Ready? How about this one? What if I went 1, 2, 4, 7, 11. Well, to keep the video short, I'm just going to say it's neither. To go from 1 to 2, we could go plus 1, or we could do 1 times 2 is times 2. Those are the ways to go from 1 to 2. Okay, now look, to go from here to here, it'd be plus 2. And this would be times 2 as well. So now what we can say is it can't be arithmetic because it's got to be the same. But now let's look at this. Is that times 2? To go from 4 to 7, is that times 2? No. Now, one thing I want to point out that's really important. There is a pattern here. This would be plus 3. This would be plus 4. So there is a pattern, but it's not either of the ones we're talking about today. And you may say, Ms. Shoulta, but it is adding. You're right. But for it to be arithmetic, it's got to add the same number over and over and over again. So this would be neither. And if it's neither, you don't have to put a pattern. Okay. There we go. All right. Last but not least, I'm going to give you 2 that are difficult, and I'm going to show you how to do these. This is where you need to really pay attention. Okay. Here we go. You'll have a few of these on your assignment. So let's write these down and let's finish class with this. Ready? Let's do 1,024, 256, 64, and 16. There's one of them. And E, let's go 23.6, 29.3, and let's just do one more on this one. Let's just do an even 35. 35. I'll do 35.0. Okay. This is the most important thing I'm going to teach you. This is really what I want you to walk away from class knowing, and then we'll finish this up. Here we go. Let me see. I think I started a stopwatch. I want to see what time I'm at real quick. Oh, now where am I? All right, here we go. Last thing. How can we figure these out? Well, I hope you can say this is not going to be adding. Okay, this is not arithmetic. There's like 8,000 numbers here. There's not 8,000 numbers here, right? 800. Here's what we do. Here are your steps. Go down a couple lines. Number one, go in reverse. I'll explain what that means in a second. Number two, test using subtraction and division. Now you may say, hold on, I thought we weren't going to divide. We're not, but this is what we're going to use our test. And the last but not least, we'll just say this. We'll say test twice. All right. Here we go. Here's what I mean. Okay. Here's what I mean. We're going to run the test twice. We go in reverse. We go from here to here. Okay. We go from here to here. I said don't write it down if it's in red, but I do want you to write this down. So I'm going to have to switch. So what I mean is go 16 minus 64. And then test twice. 64 minus 256. Now, here's the thing. I wouldn't try minus because we know it's not minus. We know it's not arithmetic because of the gap. So you can skip that and try division. See what you get on both of those times. What you get, if it matches, it will be the answer. You have to run it twice to see if it matches. So everybody's why I told you to get your cell phones, because I want you to be ready to do this. Divide these. What do you get? I bet if you have it handy, you got 0.25 for this, 0.25 for this. And so that's your answer. So your answer on this is going to be geometric and times 0.25. That's your answer. And like I told you up here, if you multiply by a number that's less than 1, it makes it smaller. But that's how we can run this test. All you've got to do is start from the back of the list and go that way. And try it with these two operations, just subtraction and division. You won't try with anything else. So let's look at this one. Let's go 35 minus 29.3. If we did that, we would get 5.7. But try it twice to make sure there's a pattern. So 29.3 minus 23.6. And we get 5.7 again. You just found your answer. That's your answer because it matches. If it didn't match, then what we would do is we would then try, instead of subtraction, we would say, well, maybe division works. So here we go. We have our answer. It's going to be plus 5.7. This is probably the most important part of the lesson. If you're not good doing some of the math in your head, this always works. Start at the back, go this way, try subtraction and division, and see if it matches. They both have to be the same thing. If they don't both give you the same thing, then the answer would be neither. Okay, so there we go. Your assignment for today are these notes, okay? Assignment for today are these notes. And then I'm going to post a problem set with about 10 problems on Google Classroom. I'll need you to check back for that towards the end of the day because I haven't got it posted yet. But that'll be your assignment. You'll have today, you'll have tomorrow to do it. And yeah, that is all I've got. If you will put in the chat box, let me put up one more little poll question here. Let's see if you answer this, just answer this in the chat box. You can get out of here. Let's see what we got here. We got 1 minute. Let me stop recording this message. Stop recording, stop recording, stop recording, stop recording, and recording. We're going to stop. And then let me